Let's take a look at the chart action for Bitcoin. Okay, so here's what I've been looking at. We started trending down, and ever since then, I was looking at the bottoms. We had a bottom at the bodies at around 35,000. We had a wick down to around 33,000. And then we had this previous bottom down here to around 30,000, 29,000 approximately. So those were where my limit orders were set. We came down, hit this first one, and got a nice little bounce. The next thing that I'm looking at, or was looking at, is if we jump into the 4-hour time frame. Let's go ahead and do that and zoom in. We had resistance right here, resistance right here, resistance right here. I was watching a trend line right here. And so what we did is we got a bounce on that bottom, got a bounce up, and at my target yesterday was around 38,000. We actually came up, hit that target, and we actually exceeded it. We broke through this trend line going to the upside. In general, we broke through, closed above it, got a bounce on this trend line, and it looks like we're pushing back to the upside. It looks like we might be having some trouble on this 180 moving average. So I think if we could break the 180 moving average, that might be a good signal. This is sitting around 40,192. I think in general, if we could break through this, then it might be a little breakout. And then the next spot that we'd be looking at is if we zoom out a little bit. We have resistance right here and resistance right here, giving me this resistance trend line, something like this. I'm wondering if we could come up, keep this momentum, and go up here and maybe even break through it. Because like I talked about on yesterday's video, if we go to the daily time frame, let's go ahead and switch it up and kind of zoom out or zoom in, whatever. And what I was looking at is a possible W pattern. We have a bottom, top, bottom, and if we keep this momentum going to the upside, it kind of looks like a W pattern, which is a reversal pattern. It's not a W pattern necessarily until we break to the upside. Then the W pattern is confirmed, and we could drag from the top to the bottom of the W. Let's go ahead and do that real quick just for fun. We have a bottom trend line, something like this, and you could argue it. You could do it on a different time frame and argue a different maybe something like this as well, or maybe something like this from the wicks. But I'm using the bodies on the daily time frame, and let's go ahead and drag from the top to the bottom of this W, and let's see where this puts us. So if we break out on this trend line, we're looking at a target of approximately 53,337. It kind of lines up with this resistance right here. This resistance is sitting around 51,000. Let's go ahead and go back to the 1-hour time frame and see the uptrend that I was watching yesterday. We'll go ahead and delete this trend line, and what I was watching yesterday was this support and this support. So let's go ahead and draw that up real quick. We have a trend line going up like this, and I was thinking until we break this trend line going to the downside, then it's possible that we'll get support on it and push to the upside. Once we break the trend line going down, then that will be a bearish signal. So right now we are still trending up, and I'm just curious how far we're going to go to the upside. Are we going to come up, hit this trend line up here, or are we going to get rejected by the 4-hour 180 moving average? That's kind of giving us some trouble. The other thing is, I want to show you one more thing, and we're going to go ahead and delete everything. Like I was talking about on yesterday's video, we're watching the moving averages. We broke above the 1-hour moving average right here, and we're getting support on it, getting bounces. We're still slightly above it. It looks like it's kind of going in and out of it on the 1-hour right here, but if we jump over to the 4-hour time frame, we also broke above the 4-hour moving average. And then if we jump into the daily time frame, we also cracked the daily time frame as well. What I want to see us do is close above this moving average right here, this blue line. I want to see us pop up a little bit more, close this candle, start the next candle, and continue to move up. I think that's going to be another good signal, or another good sign in general. I think that'll be a good thing. If we could close above this moving average, keep that momentum going, get another candle that's moving up. The next thing that I want to see us break as far as the moving averages go is if we jump over to the weekly time frame. We're still underneath this weekly 9 moving average right here. Let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit. We have this 9 moving average coming in like this. I think once we break above this 9 moving average, close above it, keep going up, I think that's going to be a good signal. We kind of cracked it here these couple weeks, but we weren't able to stay above it, and it looks like we're still generally below it. Being below the moving average, in my opinion, isn't Ideal, we want to be above it so we can get support on it rather than get rejected on it like we have been. We came up, got rejected, pushed down, came up, got rejected, and pushed down. Looks like we got some support right here. Let's see if we can break through that. Like I said, I'm very curious if we could form a W pattern and start to get some sort of better price action than what it's been lately, because it's been pretty bearish, but it looks like we got a bounce on this bottom right here. Hopefully we can keep this momentum and push to the upside. If you're new to trading, check out this video right here. It's a video about trading strategies and how I go about trading. And then there's another video right here about moving averages. I talked about moving averages in this video, but I go into more detail on both of these videos about moving averages and trading strategies. All right, if you guys like the video, hit that thumbs up and I'll see you in the next one.